Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Ricky with Learn Plan Profit. Hope you guys are all having an amazing start to your Wednesday. This video is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be about 10 minutes, and I'm solely going to talk about what is actively trending up during the current market. I actually have a flight in about 1 hour. But I wanted to make sure that I do my part in making sure that we guide people in the right direction to provide kind of that structure for today. So again, the market has been extremely volatile. I made a video last night. I know a lot of people in the East Coast, there's no way that you guys probably were up. I made the video at around 1:20 a.m., something like that. So I can only imagine how late it was for all those on the East Coast. So I want to thank you guys again for tuning in. I'm going to show you guys my screen. I'm going to start talking about what is actively trending up. I know a lot of you guys might already be able to see what is actively trending up during pre-market hours. So I'm super pumped on that, and I'm going to keep it very simple. So let's go ahead and do it. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. All right, I'm going to pause this. All right, here we go. So we have 4 minutes until the market opens. What I wanted to talk about was our infamous UGAS. Of course, when I cut losses yesterday, we look at the 1 day, 1 minute chart, and boom, it starts to recover. So it sold off all the way down to $55.68. Had a very aggressive sell-off, so it definitely makes sense on why we ended up wanting to cut losses there, right? It's starting to reverse back up, and again, I just want to make sure that you guys keep a very close eye. It's been getting rejected by this 180-day EMA. The thing that I do find attractive about it is that it's trading in between the middle and top VWAP. Let's make sure that we take that into consideration, that right now it somewhat has a resistance right around 57.50, and then an overall support right around this middle VWAP. So we want to make sure that if you even see the smallest day trade potential, that you stay true to it trending above the EMA line, and that you don't get greedy and you lock in profits at known resistance levels. Overall, understanding the margin of profit that it has to offer as a day trade in between those VWAP indicators, it's not huge. It's about 1 to maybe 1.5%. But if it continues to make higher highs, or it goes to yesterday's highs at around 58 to maybe like 58.80, then that margin of profit would definitely be a little bit more attractive. When it comes down to /CL, this thing's been all over the place. So it's been above the middle and top VWAP. It falls back. It's below the bottom and middle VWAP. So because it's so volatile, right, looking at like ticker symbol GUSH, we could see that it's sold off quite a bit, right? Looking at this 180-day analysis, it would make sense. Looking at level 2, there's buyers at 43.16 and sellers at 43.24. But look, it closed at 44.66. So in reality, looking at how much it sold off, it looks like it might be trying to bounce at the EMA indicator. So if it reverses back up and it validates this bounce, great. If it doesn't and it continues to sell off, guess what? We don't actually have to take a position. And that's the amazing thing about this. I'm going to be extremely picky for the remaining 3 days that we have to invest in the market. I'm probably going to have to be trading on the go, and that's going to be on my phone. And I want to make sure that I only take positions that I see that are actively trending up. Obviously, I'm going to make sure that I do my technical analysis on a computer the time before, and set my series of alerts, and then I can take my trades based off of my alerts throughout the day on my phone. Now I want to talk about, there's this specific ticker that, if I'm not mistaken, yeah. So this is ticker symbol AA. We talked about it very briefly. It looks like it's trying to catch a support during, right before the market opens. So it was selling off. It's catching. It's trying to catch right around $47. The MACD indicator is still showing signs of a potential sell-off. So let's make sure that we take that into consideration. And it might have gotten rejected at this SMA indicator. Also, watch out for the potential earnings report, because I know a lot of us have been talking about that one. PSTG, again, yesterday was a very red day. So it can be a very green day for recovery. So again, let's make sure that we don't force our entry. Let's make sure that the opportunity cost is worth it. We identify the margin of profit. We see that it's actively trending up. We actually see that it's actively trending up, and not that we hope that it actively trends up. I'm going to be extremely picky. And one of my favorite positions that I've taken has to be something like Shopify, right? I really like the ascending uptrend pattern. It looks like during pre-market hours, it catching very nicely right around and above this EMA indicator. If it continues to hold above this and it pushes right back up, great. I see great day trade or maybe even swing trade potential if it continues to uptrend. If we see that it starts to sell off and trades in between the middle and bottom VWAP, then obviously I'm going to be less motivated to invest in something like that, right? Ticker symbol Z is actually showing a little bit more signs of a continuous sell-off. I have my series of alerts, and I'm going to set another one right here, that if it starts to reverse back up, great, we could revisit it, but as of right now, it's still showing signs of a sell-off. This is for DWDP, pulling back just a little bit. Again, we talked about this one very briefly. So if it starts to show signs of a recovery, great, we can end up taking a position. And if not, then guess what? We don't have to actually worry about it. Same thing with sale, right? Right now it looks like it just sold off. Let's make sure, oh, there it goes. Let's make sure that if it starts to show signs of a sell-off, let's not force the entry. Let's be very patient. Let's make sure that we let it kind of, let that be the goal today. Let's be very patient, and if it continues to sell off, then guess what? We could wait for the sell-off, we could wait for the bounce at the SMA indicator, and we could even get a better deal, right? We're deal hunters. Let's make sure that we don't forget that. And then the last one was SRCI. Showing signs of an uptrend. It's pulling back a little bit at market open. So let's make sure that we give it that cushion to continue to sell off. So it looks like you guys, as of right now, it's trying to trade still in between. Wow. So a lot of alerts of stocks breaking their supports. But as of right now, we're getting a little trade in between the middle and top VWAP. Let's make sure that we take that into consideration. If it starts to sell off, there it goes. It's starting to sell off a little bit. Let's make sure that we get the full-on confirmation of the bounce, full-on reversal, right? And then confirmation of an uptrend. I'm going to be watching three. And the three that I'm going to be watching are you guys. Doesn't mean that I'm going to be trading them. I'm just going to be watching them, right? I'm going to be watching Gush. That had a very aggressive sell-off. So it sold off even a little bit more than we expected it to. So it's down about 5% on the day. And then the next one is Shop. It sold off pretty aggressively. Let's just set these alerts for the reversal. If it begins to reverse in between the middle and top VWAP, great. If it doesn't, then guess what? We don't have to take a position. So, all right. Yeah. So definitely, I mean, there's been a lot of news and there's a lot of volatility. You guys can just check your overall watch list. Overall market conditions are not the best right now. And if you see that it's a little bit too red or a little bit too risky and nothing is going in your favor, then guess what? Don't take a position. Take a day off. So I think it's a pretty good day for myself to travel. And I know that a lot of us are falling behind our weekly goal, at least for myself, for this specific week, because I've been doing very poorly because I've been trying to force trades. And if the market is not in its state to do well, then I definitely don't want to force it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set a series of alerts, and then I'm going to trade based off of that. So I really do appreciate your guys' time. Thank you again for everything that you do. I'm going to have to head on out. And again, this was just a quick little recap video right before I head on out to my flight. And if there's anything that I can do, feel free to direct message me. I'm going to be catching up on direct messages. I have very few. I caught up all last night. I have about 5, I think, left. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. But again, we have an amazing Learn, Plan, Profit team. We have a bunch of experienced traders that you can network with as well. And we can kind of go from there. So, but again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to message me. I'd love to assist you and answer any of the questions that you guys might have. So really do appreciate your guys' time. Thank you again. Please, let's kill it today. And again, one of the best positions that we can take is not taking one at all. So let's not force an entry. Let's stay very consistent, and let's be very picky on what we choose to invest in. I hope that that's not too much to ask. Again, whatever's actively trending up, I think that's a very good indicator to wait for. In between the middle and top VWAP, that's kind of what I'm looking out for. Make sure that it's actively trending up, throughout the 180-day 4-hour chart, and that it's not actively trending up. You have amazing traders within the group that you can refer your plan to. Just make sure that you get a second-hand opinion. It does not mean that you have to trade based off of their opinion, but just to see what other people might see that you might not catch with that specific ticker that you might see value in. So thank you again, and like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy.